As promised, today's video is all about Kodal Minerals. We talked about the stock in depth yesterday, bringing everybody back up to speed over the last couple of months. And a lot has happened with Kodal Minerals when we've seen a good rise in the share price. Anyone that is new to Kodal Minerals or is looking for a bit of a summary, I'll share the link here and you can go in and watch yesterday's video. But today's video is all about the AGM. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you are all well. Today's video, as promised, is the AGM. Now, I actually recorded the whole video here. I dialed into the webcast and I've recorded the whole thing for your viewing pleasure. I've actually speeded up the footage as well, just to make it a bit more quicker and seamless. It's quite a long one, guys. The purpose of this video is to let you be able to watch it, view it as quick as possible. Tomorrow's video will be a summary. We'll pick out some of the key points. We'll talk about what my thoughts are on these topics, and we'll look at see how the share prices react to this news. So far, it is a green day, and it's still a green day, which first and foremost is the main thing, considering after an AGM, the share price could be quite volatile. So it's looking good so far, guys. That could very much change. Here's the video, guys.
Simply, we're a focus company, and our focus for this coming year is the advancement of the Bougouni Lithium project to an investment decision and full financing to capitalise on what we all know is a rapid increase in the lithium demand and secure maximum financial return for our project, which I'm sure you all agree is a fantastic project, as you'll see as we go through the project. So now on to our third slide, where we're starting to actually give a bit more detail about our flagship project. As we say, it's poised for development. I'd like to have been able to say many weeks ago that the mining licence has been granted. However, we're still waiting for some minor stages of the bureaucracy to finish. We understand our licence is with the Prime Minister for signing. However, we haven't received that final piece of paper yet. So we're still poised for that development, waiting for the final approvals. However, as you know, Bougouni is well located in Mali, a safe and quiet part of the country, well supported by infrastructure. The Mali government and local communities have been supporting us for a long time, very supportive of mining and looking forward to us developing the project. And as you know, Bougouni is in a new lithium area, and ourselves and other companies have been working hard to advance this area, and we think we're ready to begin successful development and mining in the region. Simply, we're looking to develop a 2 million tonne per annum mining operation. We expect to produce over 220,000 tonnes of 6% spodumene concentrate per annum. At the moment, we have a life of mine of 8.5 years, but we expect to expand that through further exploration and delineation drilling. Of course, we've completed our feasibility study in late 2019, lodged it with the government in 2020. So there's going to be a period of review, cost review and capital review. However, at the moment, we're very confident that we can develop a very low cost and well-developed operation, delivering a very high rate of return and a very low payback period. So moving on to what we actually have at Bougouni, we have a JORC compliant resource of 21 million tonnes at 1.1% lithium. We've proven that that produces an economic mining operation, producing over 17 million tonnes of mining reserve. I shouldn't say reserve yet, but mining material, which will deliver the basis of the operation. It's multiple pegmatite veins within the area that we have, which is over 350 square kilometres. 100 square kilometres of that will be included in the mining licence. We have a range of programs prepared to move on and upgrade our resource and expand the resources following the grant of the mining licence. Moving on to our engineering slide. This is the most important work that we'll be conducting once the mining licence is granted. We have approximately a 6-month period of work scheduled to improve our engineering, our metallurgy and environmental work to move the study, which is currently what we would say is a preliminary feasibility study, to a definitive feasibility study and allow us to make the final investment decision. For the engineering, we're going to focus on the open pit optimizations, geotechnical assessment to present the final mine designs, as well as the metallurgical test work. We'll complete some variability testing to allow us to be more confident in the final flow sheet and design of the plant. In the environmental area, we'll be conducting further community liaison and support and developing our programs to work with the community to help them develop and receive benefits from our operation, as well as for us to take employees and work well within the community. And finally, the objective of all this work is to complete the definitive feasibility study that we've outlined to allow us to update our capital cost estimates. As I said, that our PFS was based on 2019 costs, and I think we're all well aware that over the last 2 years, there's been rapid increases in steel prices, in iron ore prices, and in a lot of the inputs that were utilised at the time. Of course, that's offset by what we see as a strong increase in the demand and the price for the product we expect to produce. And of course, we think that we still will demonstrate a very robust project. We're actually seeing a lot of opportunity in the area, and we continue our discussions with neighbouring companies and other companies working with us to achieve maximum value for this work. As we outlined in our presentation of the feasibility back in January 2020, we've always worked with expert consultant groups, and we've maintained those communications, particularly here in Perth with DRA and NAGROM, the metallurgical experts. And some of the work we're seeing is demonstrating that, as we've said previously, in our initial study, we always had quite conservative parameters, particularly around metallurgical recovery, where we had a lower recovery used for the open pit optimization, and then for the flow sheet, we used a 71% recovery. We're now seeing that we can improve that, and we expect that with our variability study and test work, we'll be able to be confident in including that in our future assessments. The engineering itself, in terms of the open pits, as we complete some further drilling and we complete some infill and improvements of our resource confidence, we expect to expand those. So this next 6 months following the grant of the mining license will be key for us to continue to expand, to demonstrate the robustness of the project. And at the same time, of course, we'll be looking to bring investors on board with us as we look to finance the project. So moving on to a couple of comments we'd like to make around the lithium market. And I know that we're all interested in lithium and EVs, and our shareholders have been very comfortable with this sector for a long time. And just a few key comments that why we recognise that the spodumene product that we're going to produce is a key product for the future of the EV supply. It's a low cost, it's the lowest cost source for lithium hydroxide and lithium carbonate. We expect that the demand will continue to increase exponentially, and that we will be in a great position to fill that gap. As our test work has shown previously, we produce a high quality, low impurity product that converts very well to battery grade lithium carbonate and hydroxide. And then as we see, the utilisation of the product as well has been growing at an amazing rate, particularly through the take-up of electric vehicles, but also as well by the large-scale development of batteries that are included in infrastructure and statewide electric systems. It's also increasingly being used, of course, throughout its normal glass and ceramics and medical that were the previous known uses of lithium. However, the new push towards EVs and green energy is greatly increasing that demand. And of course, we know all vehicle manufacturers now are talking at least by 2030 having the bulk of their production as electric vehicles. And as that is happening, the research into batteries and the improvement in batteries is lowering the price and lowering the end price of the vehicles that are being sold. And of course, that increases the demand and the selling of those vehicles. So it's a very good cycle for us to be coming into the market at the moment. As I said at the start, we've been a bit disappointed with the delay that we received over the last couple of years. And we all know COVID, and we all know some of the impacts that have happened in Mali. However, the flip side for us is we're coming out into a very strong lithium market, a very strong interest in our project, and a very strong demand for our product. So I think we're coming into a very great space. Just a couple of further points that I guess are a bit repetitive. However, we see that this graph clearly shows that the EV demand is increasing. China is obviously the major market, but sharp increases in other markets throughout the world. What's driving that demand? Number one, government action. And we're all seeing that the government input and legislation to ban petrol and diesel cars, the government support for EV development has been strong. And that's a major driver for the EVs development. Clearly, public interest, people are becoming more confident and want these vehicles. Environmental improvements, and obviously, as the vehicles are becoming more reliable and performance is improving, again, they're far more competitive compared to a traditional petrol car. So we're looking at, again, as I say, at a market that's strongly supported, that we have a great product that's looked for in the market. And again, as we look here at the slide on lithium price drivers, right now we're seeing that the carbonate price, so particularly for us as a spodumene producer, our product has gone into the carbonate to produce lithium carbonate. The price of that now is well over US $20,000 a tonne. It's increased year to date over 220%. It's the highest it's been since April 2018. It seems to have a lot more fundamental support and demand than we've previously seen. Market speculation previously has been about a supply overshoot. Right now, all the evidence is saying it's a deficit and an increasing deficit. And the recognition around the world is that it's not that easy for these lithium pegmatite deposits, or for the brines for that matter, to step up and become immediate sources. We're very well placed in Bougouni in that we're well advanced. We're nearly fully permitted. We have a well-planned program, and we've had a lot of support throughout our time to move this quickly to take advantage of the position we're in. As I said, economic stimulus plans and increasing environmental focus on carbon reduction has been a key driver for the development of the EV market. And again, reiterating, global vehicle sales well and truly up. So lithium and our Bougouni project is particularly well placed, and I think that we have a great opportunity this coming year to increase the value for our shareholders, and I think we'll see the rewards as we progress through this year. As I said at the start, we're well known as a lithium producer, a lithium developer in West Africa, in Mali. And now, just to comment briefly on our gold projects, we have significant projects in West Africa, both in Mali and Cote d'Ivoire. We have taken the advantage this year of acquiring a new project in Mali, the Fatou Gold Project, located in southern Mali, as well as we recovered 100% of our Niele project in Cote d'Ivoire from our former joint venture partners, Resolute Mining. And we're very glad to have these projects. We think we've got a great portfolio, and we look forward to proving up some value of those this year. And as I get to some discussion points, and I've made this point several times, we're looking to achieve value for these projects. And whether that value comes through a sale, a joint venture, or further opportunities, we'll certainly be looking at all those this year. So moving on briefly to comment on what I would consider our main projects in terms of the gold. Obviously, I mentioned Fatou. We acquired that this year. It's over 300 square kilometres of ground. It had been explored previously by a Canadian group who had announced a resource of up to 350,000 ounces of gold. In my view, that resource needs to be carefully reviewed. There's an opportunity for us to take some definition drilling and expansion drilling. I think the project will well support a much larger resource. We look forward to commencing our field work. We were a bit delayed this year and actually rained off at the time we were moving in. However, our field work and our early reconnaissance has indicated that the extent of the workings, the extent of the target zone is greater than we anticipated. Our first program will go and do some immediate test and confirmation drilling. And following that, we look to do a large expansion program. And in Cote d'Ivoire, I'd just like to mention the Niele project and Dabakala project. We have 100% ownership of all projects in Cote d'Ivoire. We have 4 granted licenses where we've been very actively working, and 2 applications which we hope to move through to development. Niele was an advanced project returned to us, as I said, from the Resolute joint venture. Some excellent early drilling results, some excellent geochemical anomalies to follow up. We've completed our maiden drilling program. Again, we confirm that work. Dabakala, I think you all know how much I like this project. It's a large scale geochemical anomaly, extensive area, no previous drilling, and a great opportunity for us. So I'm only going to focus a little bit now on the Niele project. So as we look here at the next slide, you'll see I'm just talking about the work we've completed with some excellent RC drill intersections. We think we've started the outline of a new zone to the west of the anomaly indicated by Resolute. We have proven this now for well over 2 kilometres of mineralised strike. We think we've got an opportunity to get back in, do some definition drilling, do some more extension drilling, and we're looking forward to being able to move this to a resource stage. Looking to target a maiden resource early next year, following a few campaigns of drilling. And secondly, I just would like to give a little bit of a focus on the Dabakala project. Cote d'Ivoire has been a very interesting country. It's been exposed to serious exploration, mainly over the last 5 years. There's a lot of virgin territory there. We've been able to secure some excellent projects, and case in point is Dabakala, where before Kodal became involved, and prior to that, before its acquisition from Taruga, the only work that had ever been completed here was geochemical sampling. That geochemical sampling has highlighted a major zone of anomalism. Its geological setting is fantastic in terms of its structure and host rocks. It's high-grade anomalism being returned at surface. We're looking forward to getting in and completing the first drilling program here. So some exciting times in our gold projects, as well as our lithium project. So in summary, we are a focused company, and our focus is the Bougouni lithium project. We're looking forward to receiving the mining permit. We're looking forward to undertaking the drilling and exploration and engineering work to upgrade that study to a definitive feasibility study, and looking forward to continuing to demonstrate a long life mine there. As I've said throughout, the lithium market is very strong. We believe it will continue to be stronger and only continue to grow. And we are, of course, as we've been clear, talking to multiple companies. And as you would all recognize, the lithium market is very hot at the moment. And of course, there's a lot of interest in what we're doing. In terms of our gold assets, I've been very clear. I think that they're great assets. I think that Kodal will receive great value for those assets. We have a work program planned. However, whatever opportunity comes our way, we'll be looking to maximize the value there.
That's the AGM, guys. I'm not going to do any comments now. I'm going to digest all this, make my notes, take my comments, and we'll work on this over the night, and we'll get something out to you tomorrow, feeling that Thursday for viewing pleasure. So make sure to hit like, subscribe, help me grow the channel, all of that good stuff, and I'll catch you then, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence.
Yeah,
Coincidence.
something that happens by chance, I think not.